guys, welcome to The Young and the Tasteless. I am your host, Kathleen Wallach, and the Emmys were last night, the 66th annual Primetime Emmy Awards. They were last night, and I have to say, my two favorite parts had to be the video that Billy Eichner did with Seth Meyers. It was like a version of Billy on the Street, and if you don't know who Billy Eichner is, check him out. He is hilarious. He's been on this past season of Parks and Recreation as like Loud Craig. He's so funny. His whole energy is just amazing. Check out his show. I think it's called Billy on the Street. It's so funny. Just Google it. It'll probably bring you to it. He's such a funny guy. And him and Seth Meyers did this funny little video with people on the street and in regards to the Emmy Awards, and it was really great. And it was particularly funny when he went up to a woman and was like, "You're a lesbian. You watch Orange is the New Black, right?" And she's like, "I watch Orange is the New Black, but I'm not a lesbian." He goes, "Oh." So that's just a taste. Watch him. I can't do it justice. He's so funny. And then, of course, when Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson were up, they gave probably the best advice to every person. And it was Woody Harrelson's advice to Matthew McConaughey. They recounted the story that, when Matthew McConaughey was having a problem, he went up to Woody Harrelson and asked how he handles the problems. And he said he just looked down for like 20 seconds and looked back up and said, "I just forget about it." So simple, and of course, it's the best advice in the whole wide world, and of course it came from Woody Harrelson, who is probably, you just look at him and you smile. You look at him and Matthew McConaughey together, and you can't help but just like smile, and they make you happy. I don't know what it is about those guys. They're amazing. I love them both so much. They just look like a lot of fun, I guess. So, if you didn't catch it, pretty much Breaking Bad just swept. Of course, because one of the best shows of all time, so they got like all the major awards. I think they won every award that they were nominated for. I'm pretty sure Breaking Bad did. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus won, and they had her and Bryan Cranston had some funny energy between them. It was just great. It was a good 3 hours. There's a very touching tribute to Rob Williams with Billy Crystal giving this really sweet speech. So it was worth the 3 hours, I think. You won't say that about a lot of shows, but that was really good. But seriously, how long do award shows have to be, though? I mean, they probably could have squeezed in all the good stuff in like an hour and a half, but that's the nature of it. If you're gonna commit, you're gonna commit from 8 o'clock at night to 11 o'clock at night, and that's how it's gonna be. So I wanted to, of course, get that talked about. The best. I love TV and I love television award. I think the Emmys is probably my favorite award show because it's TV, and TV's it's ubiquitous. It's the best. It's just like it's your friend that's always there for you. And as sad as that sounds. So I wanted to discuss that, and then I wanted to discuss something I thought that was interesting. A few months ago, Zoe Mamet, who's David Mamet's daughter. And she's on the show Girls, and I always like talk about like nepotism in Hollywood, but she writes an article for Glamour, a monthly. It's in like the back. It's this monthly thing she writes for Glamour. And she actually made a really good point. I think it was about 2 issues ago, and she made this really, really good point, and I actually really enjoyed the article. It was about, I think it was called I Won't Lean In, Thanks, and it was a take on Sheryl Sandberg's book Lean In, which is, this book, I'm pretty sure it's kind of like this generation's like feminine mystique type thing, and basically it's like about how women have to crush these barriers, and it has a good it's a good thesis in the book. I think it's meaning to do good, but I feel like, and Zoe Mamet basically said, it's kind of like this pressure for women, because this book is like women have to take more leadership roles and they have to do this, and it's like saying to women like you have to like have this be good with, having a family and being a leader of like this company, and like it's like, I'm sure that's not really what Sheryl Sandberg's like going on, like saying, but it comes across, and whenever she talks, it comes across as like, unless you're this like tiger woman who is trying to like take over the world, and, while having kids and while having like having it all, it's, you're useless or you're worthless. And I think it's kind of ironic because she's trying to like push women forward and like, lift women up. But I feel like this woman and women like Sheryl Sandberg are kind of doing the opposite. And that's my opinion, call me wrong. But I feel like, when I see her in interviews, she grew up in privilege, and she had, the opportunities that a lot of people don't have. And I feel like women and women like her are kind of putting this pressure point on women of today to take over the world. And I think it's great to think that you can, but I don't think you should, if you don't want to take over the world. That was kind of Zoe Mama's point. What if I just want to like open a muffin shop in Vermont? You know, and like, it's like, I just feel like when, like with these types of, you know, this type of literature and these types of women, they're sort of doing the opposite of what they are meaning to do. And I feel like no woman should feel pressure to do things that they don't want to do. And I feel, you know, if you want, I mean, I think that the, you know, the power of the whole feminist movement and everything and the whole women's movement was to choose what you want to do and be able to do it. And I feel like these women who are, you know, trying to make themselves look like, well, I am, you know, the head of this Fortune 500 company, and I have kids, and I have the, you know, I feel like it's almost, it's like, okay, let's back off. You know, calm down, back off. You know, I mean, it's just, I just feel like you should have the freedom to do what you want and not feel pressured to do something you don't just to prove a point. So that was, I mean, that was kind of, I mean, I'm sure that this isn't exactly what she's saying, but I feel like this is the impression that a lot of women get from people like this, from this sort of Sheryl Sandbergs of the world. And I feel like we need to sort of redefine what the pressures of having it all. We need to redefine what having it all means. And I mean, you know, having it all can mean, you know, just having a dog you love and a little house, and that's it. And you want to be happy, and that's it. Like that to me would be having it all. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like these women who think like having it all means these specific things, especially like today, I just feel like it hurts women rather than, you know, helps them when you sort of give them this kind of pressure. I think having it all means having a choice, and having the choice and being able to, you know, choose what you want to do and choose how you want to live your life. You know, that's just my little opinion. And I guess sort of Zoe Mamet's opinion. So I never thought I'd have something in common, but we do. So, you know, we just have to redefine, you know, the pressures of everything, and redefine what the pressure is, or redefine the meaning rather than the pressure of, you know, having it all. So that was my little spiel for today. I had to say, and you know what, and just, I have to reiterate the words of wisdom from Woody Harrelson. You know, if something's ever bothering you, forget it. That's the best. That is like the best advice I've ever heard in my life, I have to say. I mean, you know, I'm sharing it with you guys. So have a great day, you guys. And remember to follow me on Twitter at Wallach_Kathleen. I think I always forget. And have a beautiful day. Bye, guys.